Hello, I'm S.J. Langer. I'm here representing my team, which includes Jaime Josefa Castro, Luisa Gleichman, Candace Fernandez, Nicole Titus, Case Ross, and Ahad Assad. And I'm from School of Visual Arts, and the team is spread across two countries. And I'm going to talk about our interviews of the phenomenon of phantom sensation in trans and non-binary people. So trans phantoms are bodily sensations of gendered body parts that a person was not born with, i.e., and for these interviews, phantom penis sensation in a trans man. So this is a person assigned female at birth and is having the sensation, physical sensation of a penis on the outside of their body. And we theorize that this, follows the sort of body matrix theory of, a neural map inside the body that usually matches the outside of the body, in this case, not completely, and that this is analogous to a plate-shaped phantom sensation in people born limb deficient who have the sensation of that limb. And we think about this in terms of the Bayesian brain and predictive processing, applying the free energy principle to gendered experience, that the mind is projecting certain gendered aspects that the material body may not match. And when we think of Markov blankets and the sort of bounds of the body, and for trans folks, right, the bounds of their body is out of range, right, for what their experiences of themselves. And so what's the prevalence of this phenomenon in terms of phantom penis in general? The first three studies with Ramachandran and Case found between 62 and 71%, but this was small samples. My team did an online survey that we recently published. This asked across genders about phantom sensation. So not just phantom penis, but we found similar numbers. And generally phantom sensation was reported 50% of our sample, and we had almost 1,500 people. The interview study was IRB approved back in 2020, and we had a great sample to choose from, 26 people. This was all trans and non-binary folks assigned female at birth. And our 26 was able to have a nice diverse range of age, race, and gender identities. So we had from 20 to 72, I think was the number in terms of age. So this was a qualitative semi-structured interviews that I conducted at the beginning of COVID, sort of month after everything locked down. So everything had to be online, even though the plan was to have a mix. And we started out wanting to really investigate, what are the characteristics of this phantom experience? How is it operating for people? When did it start? How did it start? What were the things they noticed? Did taking tea or having surgery impact the phantom? Are they dreaming with phantoms? And what's their own theory of why this is happening for them? And particularly how it is useful in terms of sex. We've coded all of the interviews at this point. We are beginning the analysis process, but we have some preliminary results. And that includes, right, sort of people really not realizing that they weren't the only one that had this experience. None of them had really any medical professional or therapist ask them if they ever experienced this. I think probably our strongest finding is that erotic sensation seems to be the foundational perception. If you have, in this example, a phantom penis, whereas, that's different than obviously most other phantoms that, pain is there, or, pressure or other sensations. But if in our study, if you had a phantom, you had erotic sensation. And then some folks had more layered sensation as well. And so consciousness wise, neurologically, right, that's curious. For some folks, it began in puberty. Others, they said they always felt it. Maybe they didn't know what to call it, but they knew it was always there. It was usually useful for sexual activity. How they felt the sensation and how they understood the phenomenon was highly personal, and people had very interesting theories about why it was happening. Some thought, right, this was, they were in reincarnation, that they had been, male in a previous life, and this was sort of a holdover of that existence, or, they thought their brain was just doing it, or that this, helped them understand why they were trans. And, it had mixed results in terms of if the phantom was helpful or not helpful in terms of using a penile prosthetic. And for most folks, the phantom played some role in their decision making about genital surgery, if they were going to have it, and if they did want to have it, what kind of surgery they wanted, because there's two different kinds. I'm just going to jump to this quote because this is a really sort of fun, I think, example of someone theorizing about their phantom and it really lining up with the free energy principle and predictive processing. And so he said, yes, neurotransmitters and shit that's firing, that's saying ping, 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 that is what's happening. And it's not happening like for other folks that don't fall into the same categories as me. I know it. I was just not, it's a brain thing. It's a brain thing. It's totally a brain thing. That's why it's so real. He was a really fun person to interview. And so theoretically, right, many of the participants' theories really aligned with how we were thinking about phantoms, and that, there is this body matrix emanating from mind/brain consciousness that's not represented in the body. And that this is actual sensation that people are having. This isn't about a wish for a penis. Like, certainly the wish is there, right? But the wish is there for 99% of trans men or transmasculine folks, or very high percentage. Whereas these folks, right, they understood wish, and that this was something completely different, in that they are actually really feeling it and using it. And obviously, in contrast to other phantoms, these were not primarily painful, and that folks really wanted to be able to develop the sensation, right? Not remove it, and to make more use of it. So it being a very positive experience, primarily for most folks, right? Clinically, as psychotherapists, we want to be able to use this information to be able to develop protocols and treatment methods for folks. And, we certainly have some limitations, and that it's a smaller sample. We'd love to do more interviews. And we eventually are going to publish the results of this one. It's done, and we continue to sort of do deeper investigations into trans phantoms. So thank you very much for your attention. And thanks to SVA for supporting the work. And if you have any questions, please email us there, or you can, find me through the conference if you want to email me directly. All right. Thank you so much.